Yes,
a
please.
little color. You'll get a smaller purple one.
Okay.
Our house is not purple.
Okay. All right.
So, Dark's is
His house.
Yeah, mine.
His house. All right. So we're live on stream and recording.
We are.
This
Yeah.
is
And
our
recording.
campaign-ish thing.
I mean,
I
one
probably am
thing.
gonna leave now because I don't. This is the wrong universe for me.
Yeah. Bye, Jake.
What are you doing
I'm
here?
not.
Marcus doesn't
Yeah, I
belong
don't
here.
know.
Get
Shush,
Hang
Marcus,
on.
there's no gods.
Oh no! Oh, the leader of all
Go
things.
back to whence you
literature.
Back to
to
Our
the shadow.
house is
The
not
power of the seven compels you.
red or purple.
I know. Do you have a better color that you want it to be?
It's gold.
Go
You can make it gold.
on. Okay, sure.
Make whatever color you want.
Our house has gold.
I have orange. The closest I can get.
It's okay.
So any color you want that's orange.
Any color you want, you can have orange.
That's better. That's the color for females.
And then, do
Get
you
that
have a
purple.
color? I guess you're like reddish then, dark. For like
Yeah, red
fox.
should work.
Yeah.
The red rampant fox.
Rampant fox.
Oh, the rampant fox. They're like living over there.
So
Yes, my house is colours
Put
are
that
red,
bigger
red,
dot.
white, and black. So
There we go. A smaller dot because they're less important.
Yeah, get that dot meant to be smaller.
it is
okay.
more.
So
See, that's also the Lannister colors. Perfect.
this
That's
is
cool enough.
this is where we are in South Westeros. We're right here.
Jonas, can you get
Dun
give,
dun 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 dun, and then moves
I
down
have
there.
already, I've already done that, yes.
Yeah.
can you give what's it called?
Wonderful.
Playlist of the Game of Thrones song?
I can.
I
yes.
have one you can have.
I have a 4-hour one.
I have
can't
one.
do
It's
that.
like Game of Thrones soundtracks for season 1 to 4.
Yeah, same.
So it should. Sometimes you might be like, oh, what was that sound? And because it's the soundtrack giving you a memory about
I
mean, people
can't
dying.
do that, sadly.
Sounds
But
about right.
anyway,
Let's have
Yes.
a wedding.
Hello, people.
Oh,
No
let's
wedding.
Welcome to the
start.
first session of the first real play session of our Game of Thrones story. We'll be playing a pre-made story, so please do not look it up, and please do not say anything about anything related to it in the actual chat to bring players out of the mood.
And also keep spoilers for the story
Yes.
of the books.
This is an alternate universe. It's years before the novels. There's nothing related to it,
Yeah,
and
don't,
you will not find anything related.
don't go beyond the first book if you're going to reference anything, basically.
If any of you do, you will be killed with dragon fire.
That's right.
true.
Time will supply.
We have a
I
thing.
will supply. I have a dragon cat.
Now we can look at this nice map and see where in the world you are.
Yeah.
And why don't you
Where in the world is House Trevelyan?
recapping slightly what house you are?
I was thinking, do you want a house banner thingy?
I think we should.
Chuck our house
It
banner
should
on.
be here. We'll put it above
Here you go.
the little room that symbolizes your keep.
Yeah.
It's not a very generous keep, but I didn't want to make it one.
Where did it go? Oh, it's there.
It's at the bottom. Right at the bottom.
There.
Let me have it. Oh, you want it there? All right.
Right
No, I
there.
just gave it to you.
Sure. I'm gonna make it to
Make it bigger.
the darkness. Remember?
No,
Into the darkness.
I thought we were gonna have it somewhere to be towering all over everyone.
I just
Yeah,
need to
above
make
this.
it. I just need so if I do it here, it disappears behind the map.
Oh,
That would be annoying.
yeah.
Let's see here. We instead want to have it a size huge.
That's right.
That looks good.
Size massive.
Let's try and hide that copyright stuff at the bottom though.
What?
YouTube freaks out about everything, I swear to God.
Even if it says go to this is why we found it.
No,
It
trust me.
won't freak out for a picture, I think. But it's very with music. It's
It's
really
just easier
realistic.
like that. There we
There
go.
we
There we
Okay.
go. Hey, look at that.
Sure. You know,
Hey.
All the effort.
Hey,
all hail.
House Trevelyan. Oh, I feel all like proud and like
Yeah.
Look at it. That is
Like
what
patriotic.
the
Yeah.
soldiers here.
oh,
Probably close down Riff's character
Like-
sheet, actually. I haven't done that from yesterday.
this
He's not
better.
gold on your side, at least.
Alright.
He's the Rith. She will take care of your wounds.
Mm, the red woman is what she's called.
Yeah.
Can we make her a
Yes.
step?
And this is a day as that's what do your characters sort of do in the common days of your life. It is a slight beginning to be sort of midsummer, fall. in the way that the trees are sort of growing yellow. Of course, it's never going to be winter. The summer has lasted for years, and it's going to continue. There's no doubt. No mace has ever said anything about winter being near.
Until years come and then somebody says winter
it
is
is
coming.
harvest, which simply means that it'll switch directly back to spring afterwards.
Right.
Yet still, it is where the food is the most bountiful and where the game is the strongest and healthiest.
So we're in Florida, right? It's like no winter
No.
ever.
There's no swamp. The land here is very hilly, very barren as well. There's not a lot of forests.
Okay.
You can see a lot of there's sort of mountainous, but more really just sort of dirt hills than it is mountains. Really, it's a very rich area you live in.
Lots of iron mines. Lots of mines in general.
I think we should present our characters because some people might not have watched that 5-hour thing we did.
Yeah.
So whoop.
Yeah, so let's look at our characters, introduce them.
In
Spymaster
order of
wants to be
status,
different.
vertically.
Yeah.
Yes, in order of status, I suppose.
All right, sure.
Is
At the top of the player characters.
Yep.
Nope.
Nice border.
There we go.
there she is. Yeah, that is Nadia. I still have to learn to say our last name, Trevelyan.
Trevelyan, yeah.
She is the heir of House Trevelyan. She has an identical twin brother who is more book-ridden and has never been into the whole fighting. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna get the history up here. You know what? I'm just gonna read it.
Sure.
I saved my twin brother from a boar when he was out hunting with our father. He didn't want to kill the boar. He never was into hunting. Not like me. After that, our father saw my potential and let me dress up as my brother to fight in our name. It was discovered I was dressed up as my brother Aiden, and I was looked down upon, but my father saw me as a phoenix and let me rise above. So my character has taken many times her twin brother's place to fight, because as long as she's wearing her helmet, no one knows. But her father has not frowned upon her, so he lets her do her thing, be an awesome soldier, and she has been given the family heirloom of Valerian's steel sword called Ash. Next.
Okay.
Done.
Next.
Mhm.
Next is Arwin Maltren, a young adolescent boy from the nearby house Maltren, who many years ago, when he was quite young, even then he had a sense of duty to do what was right, and when he found out some of the things that were going on, may have accidentally on purpose released some information to some of the nearby houses about what mine would do, about what my home house Maltren were doing, being bandits and criminals, and with that, my old house was punished and I was taken away as a ward to House Trevelyan, where they raised me and possibly letting me rise above. That seems appropriate.
Yes, and I shall be playing Anomander Trevelyan. He is a cousin of the current lord of House Trevelyan, and he has a very sordid history. He has lived a rather harsh life, growing up in Flea Bottom in King's Landing, and basically been taken in for to run like messages and like do some spying and stuff when he was just a kid. He mostly lived on the streets and like in like soldier camps and stuff like that. Thanks to actually performing quite well in this service. This was during the Tenpenny Kings era. He actually caught the eye of the then, to be named Lord Blackfire, and who kept him as a personal squire, basically, helping out and doing stuff for him. When Blackfire turned a little bit crazy, Anomander Trevelyan decided to double-cross him, basically sold him out to the opposition. Which garnered him quite a lot of fame in that current time. So much so that he decided to maybe he should actually lay low for a bit, because there was a lot of people who really didn't like him, and so he decided to travel across the narrow sea to sort of let the heat cool off a bit. Where he spent a lot of time. He spent quite a decent time in Bravos, actually learning the language and the customs and stuff. Keeping his trade of secrets, basically. He's a very good talker. He has practiced this a lot. He has never been very strong or very fast. The hard years in Flea Bottom really sort of tore down his health quite early. So he's not the healthiest guy, but he can talk, and he has a very keen mind. Remembers things that he has seen. Like he has a really good memory, and that serves him very well in his information broker business. When he finally returned to Westeros and found his way home to House Trevelyan, one of the few people, one of the few houses he was still sort of had any contact with. He looked up his old family. Found out that the current Lord of House Trevelyan was actually quite crazy, spending a lot of the family fortune on the strangest projects, and he basically decided this will not do, and stepped in to stop the house from falling to this madness, and arranged for what is called in the family chronicles the Goose's Flight, which basically was pushing the old lord off a very high staircase that he was spending a lot of money to build, because it was like building a staircase to heaven. So Anomander pushed the lord off that. It's called the Goose's Flight, and after that, when his cousin took over, he has been with the family as an information broker, a diplomat, and a spymaster.
And going on to the least noble out of all of them is my character, Harkus Drayden. He is a guardsman and a very adept fighter. He, at a young age, was kidnapped from people he has no idea the identity. He managed to escape at a young age. And found his way to the narrow sea, where he hopped on board a traveller's ship, and the traveller was a nice enough man to teach Harkus how to read, write, and also to fight. Once they got to Westeros, they travelled for a bit, and as they got closer to the House of Trevelyan, the caravan was attacked by bandits. Everybody was slain apart from Harkus, and he was left in the dirt until one of the lords of the House Trevelyan, or maybe even the servants, he was unconscious at this point, took him back to the keep, where he was, where he could recover, and he swore fealty to the house, and has served as a guard ever since. Now aged in his 20s, he's the very adept fighter, and very dutiful and loyal. And that's pretty much it about him.
Sure. Should we also give a quick summary of the house, like the history of the house?
Can do.
Yes. It's a good idea. Go ahead.
Best if somebody else does that.
Well, The house was established during Aegon's conquest, so it's quite old. It was established during a period of expansion, when House Lannister sought to expand their power and influence north of Casterly Rock. The Ashen Mark was basically the target for this, and they sent a lot of charters for people to go in there and pacify the region, like clear out the bandits, build forts, secure the iron-rich mines there is in those areas, and also secure the Lannister lands from incursions from House Greyjoy and Pike. So yeah, that's basically how the house was founded. Ambitious nobles, hedge knights, set out and did so well that the House Trevelyan could be successfully established upon this, with a solid hold over this region. So yeah, there was Old Man Trevelyan. I'm not sure if we actually gave him a first name.
Not yet.
What the first?
That could be his name. Old Man Trevelyan.
Thomas Trevelyan. He was the first one to settle it. Shortly after that, during the Dance of Dragons, horrible doom befell the house because we supported the rebel side, and basically, we got pretty burned, quite literally, because both the Lannisters and the Crown fought us, and a dragon came to our lands and just smashed it completely. That burned it down to ash. The old keep was completely broken and ruined, and the house was almost extinct at that point. But we survived, and swore new oaths and stuff. And during the Blackfire Rebellion, we gained a lot of favor for braving the usurper Blackfire. We had intimate knowledge over the hills and mountain regions of the area, and we used this to smuggle goods and supplies to help the loyalists' armies through this perilous terrain, avoiding rebel forces. And we gained a lot of favor with the Iron Throne for doing so. They gave us back some of the lands we lost in the Dance of Dragons, and we basically reestablished ourselves back up from being like a hill folk to back into being a proper house at that point. And this continued when the usurper Robert Baratheon charged in to take over from House Targaryen. We supported his side, again smuggling and using our knowledge to get supply lines set up and stuff. Our iron mines was very important, supporting with steel and stuff to the army. Robert Baratheon was really a magnanimous victor, and showered the house with gifts, and then promptly forgot us, of course. And then the last and most recent history of the house is the madness and the goose's flight, where the old lord fell to madness and instability, trying to build a staircase to heaven, and doing strange decrees like I hate pickled onions. Everyone needs to wear pink, and a lot of weird stuff. And when he was basically taken care of, the current reign was established. There are a few sort of monuments and quirks to the house. We have the old castle ruins. Ashmark, or Ashfall, or whatever we decided to call them. I can't really.
I think that was actually called something different.
Oh, maybe it was.
Yes, the old ruins was called High Roost.
High Roost.
The current keep is called Ashfall.
Ashfall. All right. Yes. So the old keep, High Roost, that is still on our lands, that ruined place, and there is still the old, the old crypt is still intact there. The old lords are still buried down there. We also have a piece of obsidian dragon glass with an eerie red spark as a reminder what that cost us. It's like a thing we have as a memento of that time. We have the half completed staircase of the goose. And the house really hates geese. We don't like geese. It's something we really dislike for all the madness of the last lord when he's like goose farms and stuff. And we also tend to burn our dead family members on a coal pyre in the old ruins of High Roost. The family motto is "Rise Above."
The current sort of lord of the house is Lorwyn Trevelyan. He's the brother of the Mad, and he's currently sort of old. He was never really supposed to inherit or be lord, and he's good enough at it, but he's very soft and not very lordly as such. A decent steward, but he prefers to let the youth take charge, as he never felt like he was supposed to have this position. He feels like it is something that doesn't really have the right to. His wife, Selvina, is a Riverlander woman who was a knight daughter, and he married her before he became lord of the house. If he hadn't, then she probably wouldn't have been proper enough for him. The house, beyond the two children, Nadia and Aiden, the twins, the heir, and, well, the acting heir, as it is, also have a younger brother, who was Ren Trevelyan, who's the second son of the house. He's young and still learning much. Other important members is the Septa Mildren, who takes care of the sept and religious things, much of education as well. Then there is the maester called Maester Morgan, who's a gentle fellow who is very much interested in plants and the like. He likes to brew, although he doesn't really like to drink much. Another person of note is Gregory Humblestone, a blacksmith in the employ of the house, who has some quite sort of local fame for his very well-crafted weapons and armor. The house earns most of its money from their rich iron mines, and of course the travel that comes along from the roads travel along the Tumblestone River to River Run. Yeah. And on a common day, whoever's outside of the keep doing something, immediately outside that is, will see a raven flying towards the Tower of the Raven, where the Maester, of course, is taking care of them. Most likely with news. News often doesn't come to the house, as, well, there's not really a whole lot going on. Things are good. And more interestingly, this raven comes from the southeast, not from the southwest, as would be expected if it came from Lannisport or Casterly Rock.
So from King's Landing kind of direction.
Yes. It is, however, unlikely that it sort of disturbs you much. However, later upon the day, well, Nadia will certainly be called in to speak to her father, who has a piece of paper. He will promptly hand it to her, as he usually does when there's something important. Her brother is already there and has likely read it already. He generally tells her what it says. She doesn't read well.
No.
Her father, of course, trying to let them have as many decisions about the house's future as possible, as he says it is really their house, and he's just holding the seat for them until they're ready. They must also learn to work together, as they are good in different fields, and they are in a world that does not appreciate them for who they are, but rather for what they should be. It is a piece of paper, a little strip really, that was wrapped around the raven's foot. It says, "To the noble houses of Westeros, greetings in the name of King Robert Baratheon. His Royal Highness has declared a tourney shall be held in the honor of the crown on the fields of the King of King's Landing, to begin 2 weeks hence. All vassals of the crown are invited to attend and to bring honor to their names.
So a tournament?
Yes.
Nadia smiles.
Looks to you. To basically your thoughts. He usually does this. Lets you have the first word. Let you explain to him what this means and what you should do about it. A sort of test.
It sounds like an intriguing idea. I always enjoyed tournaments, and I have never failed my house before. Looks to her brother. He's the smart one.
Yeah. He sneezes. He's currently his weak health is having him again. He's always been sickly ever since they were small. Some say that it's because twins generally don't both of them survive, but well, maybe you've been lucky, as it is. Or maybe the wealth of the house has done some to aid that process. Well, he nods slowly, and father looks at Nadia, says, however, your brother will not be able to go and be there in 2 weeks. You will have to leave very soon.
It is likely I will be frowned upon if my brother is not there.
It seems then that you will have to feign being him the entire trip.
Nadia nods.
If you still wish to go.
I wish to go.
Good. I have come to the same conclusion. And it should be doable. It looks for the two of you. If you coarse your voice a bit, it should still be possible for you to pass for each other.
It is
The
said.
gods have given you that.
It is said that Nadia and Aiden looks a lot like each other. Nadia has kept her hair short as well, but has it up when she's wearing a helmet. Well, it won't be the first time, Father, I have pretended to be Aiden.
Good. There are some others I would wish for you to take with you to King's Landing. You will need guards, a bit of a company. However, you will have to travel light.
Nothing new. I may not be good at reading or writing, but traveling light and surviving on my own is my trade.
Yeah. Yes. I shall bring the company I wish you to take in here then. You should make your preparations. You will leave on the morrow if possible.
Nadia nods. As you wish, Father. Looks to Aiden.
He lets out a sneeze again. As he sort of looks at you. His sort of cheeks are red, and he has a woolen blanket around him.
Nadia smiles.
Gives her a smile back. Yet it seems to hurt him a little bit. His father looks at him, nodding for him to probably go back to his bed. Where he still reads a lot.
Get well soon, brother.
Thank you.
He's so cute.
Thank you, sister.
He's sickly.
At evening, slightly before supper, you will all be called into to the hall, where you see Lord Trevelyan stand, his own sort of cane, looking really for you. He smiles at something. The lady of the house walking away. Clearly, they've been talking about something.
Well, you can hear the rhythmic tap tap of the cane of Anomander as he approaches in the corridor outside the hall, and then he enters, leaning on the cane as he does when he walks. He looks around, his stern gaze sort of flitting back and forth in the room, And then he sort of walks forward to the Lord and bows and says, "Yes, you wished to speak to me about something, my lord?" Smiling slightly.